I think this team will win gold. But the rest of the world has caught up with the United States in basketball. Make no mistake about it. But you couple that with the fact that right now, I think, guys, there's two things happening. Number one, defensively, this team is disjointed. I mean, they don't defend. They have not defended very well at all. Now, as part of that exhibition games and being able to get up, we're going to find out once the Olympics starts. But, you know, they seem to turn on a certain gear down the stretch in these exhibition games, but they shouldn't be that close. And the spreads would indicate they shouldn't be as close as they've been. This team's defensive effort needs to be a heck of a lot better. But number two is this, point guard play. This team doesn't have a great point guard. Stephen Curry is not what he once was. You know, against Germany, he goes 1 for 7 from downtown, really struggled to shoot the basketball. LeBron saved the day again. LeBron James deserves all the credit in the world. For the win over Germany, he single-handedly powered his team. But right now, this team is missing a great all-around in their prime point guard. And that's my biggest issue right now. And I can't help but watch them and think, man, I would have loved to see Jalen Brunson on this United States team. I thought that was a roster miss.
Yeah, you know, Jalen Brunson is he's a scoring guard. He's not a traditional point guard. LeBron James and Halliburton, or even Steph Curry, those are the guys that can bring the ball. Pretty much everybody can bring the ball up the court 94 feet if they needed to. But LeBron's the point guard. I mean, that's just what it is. I don't know why they're struggling. I have no idea, other than maybe the rules are a little bit different. They got to get used to having a guy standing in the middle all the time, where in the NBA, you get 3-second violation defensively on the defensive side, where you look at it now, you got big old, you got some big tall dudes standing in lanes, so you don't get an opportunity to drive and kick like you would in a normal NBA setting.
You know what it is, though, Keyshawn? You just summed it up by saying, yeah, LeBron, Halliburton, Curry. But let's focus it in on LeBron for a moment and then look positionally here, right? Jason Tatum, Anthony Edwards. All right. Halliburton as well. And even Curry, you could say this about. These guys are extremely talented. This is an extremely talented team on paper. But not all the pieces are connected. Mm-hmm. In other words, there's only one basketball. You watch these other teams playing, they're moving the ball. It looks like old school college offense with how they move the ball, with how they cut, with how they screen. The United States has not had that. It's give somebody the ball and have them go one-on-one. Sometimes they'll run a slip screen. Sometimes they'll run a pin down action. They'll do those types of things, but their functionality isn't all the way there, because you do have superstars, but people right now that require the basketball to make something happen. And so do they have the guys to get it done? Yes, they do. They're the most talented team in the Olympics. I think they'll win gold. But they've got to become more connected on both ends of the floor. That's the only reason why I suggest Brunson. And Brunson, if you remember last year, for those who don't, that's all right. He was on the World Cup team. And Brunson understood he didn't have to be the 40-point guy. He said, I'll initiate the offense and be a winner, which is what he's been in New York. He's made the Knicks a relevant winning force. Curry's past his prime. Yes, LeBron's the point guard, but what happens if LeBron were to get banged up at all? What happens? The other elephant in the room is this. Kevin Durant has not played a second in the exhibition games. How will the rest of the team receive Durant when he just puts himself into the game and plays however long he wants to? Is that how that's going to work? He didn't play any of the exhibition games. He didn't put any work in during the exhibition games. What will that look like when he becomes part of this team in the Olympics?
Who do you think needs to step up for the team?
That's a great question. Anthony Edwards is my man. That's my answer here. Anthony Edwards, it's his time. LeBron James has had his time and is the most impactful player on this team. Okay? Make no mistake about it. LeBron James is a coach on the floor. There's a reason why he's carrying that flag at Friday's opening ceremonies. He's one of the greatest athletes in the history of the United States of America. Anybody arguing that is a hater. And so he is extremely vital, and there's nobody that you're going to find that means more to their team in the Olympics in any sport than LeBron James means to his team. I know there's people out there who choose to disagree. Go ahead and choose. You can be quiet as far as I'm concerned. Anthony Edwards, to me, he's got to get into his comfort zone here. We watched it in the playoffs, right? He was superb. He was orchestrating. He was hitting big-time shots. It feels like right now he's battling, I'm on the same team as guys I've looked up to or guys that have run the league in the past. And you're on this team for a reason. You've got the ability. You haven't even hit your prime yet, but you've got the ability. You are an absolute bucket getter. For this team, perimeter shooting is a question right now. You know, they shot 6 of 17 from 3 on Monday. They got outscored on the three-point arc by South Sudan, 42-21. So I look at Anthony Edwards, and I think Tyrese Halliburton's got to give this team more. Those two have got to give this team more here as we go along. And even Jason Tatum's been quiet. He's been quieter than I expected. But my main answer is Anthony Edwards.
We absolutely hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more from us, hit that subscribe button for all videos, full episodes, and exclusive content from the show. And don't forget to find All Facts, No Breaks on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.